What is going on, everybody? I am back with another Yu-Gi-Oh discussion video. I'm really loving making these videos, so if you have any ideas, definitely feel free to put them in the comment section and let me know what I should probably, try to discuss in the future. This time we got ourselves a big question in Yu-Gi-Oh Arc 5, and I'm gonna answer it for you guys. But before getting to that, if you enjoyed the vid, please give it a like. If you want to see more videos from me, whether it's the Yu-Gi-Oh discussion videos or any other kind of videos, just check out my video catalog to see what I post. Then please subscribe, share, and I definitely want to see you guys in the comment section. I've been loving seeing you guys in the comment section, even the people who have been pretty mean to me. But engagement is engagement, and I do value everybody's opinion, no matter whether it's positive or negative. So now let's get on to the actual discussion. And pretty much we want to talk about something that people have been asking for a long time, and I think some people don't really understand it too much, so I want to give my best possible answer to it. And pretty much for years people have been asking the question, why isn't there a ritual dimension in Yu-Gi-Oh Arc 5? And yeah, it sounds like a pretty legit question. There is Xyz, Fusion, and Synchro, so why isn't there a ritual? But guess what? The answer is actually more simple than you might think, so let's just get straight into it. First is why people think there should be a ritual dimension in the first place. Ritual like Fusion, Synchro, and Xyz is a summon mechanic, so therefore there should be a dimension like the others. I mean, that makes sense if you think about it that way, but that's the point where people have a misconception about the dimensions. Now let's get into why I believe it's a pretty simple concept to understand if you change your mindset about how you think about the dimensions a little bit. It's not about mechanics per se, but about main and extra deck. You see, standard dimension is considered the original dimension of the four that were created after the battle between Ray and Zark, and this dimension represents the main deck, which is why tribute summon aces were heavily featured and why ritual was even represented in that dimension as well. But wait, you ask, as you feverishly put your fingers to the keyboard to tell me how wrong I am, because the other dimensions exist in standard as well. And to that I say, you are absolutely correct. And that is because from the main deck exist the possibilities to summon any type of monster from the extra deck, which is why standard has Fusion, Synchro, and Xyz monsters as well. It is also the birthplace of Pendulum, a main deck mechanic that could turn into an extra deck mechanic. Ritual doesn't have its own dimension because it is a mechanic residing in the main deck, which is represented by the standard dimension. Fusion, Synchro, and Xyz cards exist outside of the main deck, which is why they have their own dimensions, and each of those dimensions only contain extra deck cards of that dimension's namesake. Fusion dimension, Fusion. Synchro dimension, Synchro. Xyz dimension, Xyz. Because Ritual is not an extra deck mechanic, it's also the reason why a character like Alexis / Asuka, whichever you prefer, a Fusion dimension native, can use Ritual monsters which reside in the main deck. This means that technically, every dimension possibly has access to Ritual monsters, even though Ritual is represented in standard. But this doesn't mean it is limited to only standard, because all dimensions have access to what's in the main deck. So people ask, why isn't there a Ritual dimension in Yu-Gi-Oh! R5? It is simply because the standard dimension encapsulates all main deck features such as Tribute, Summon, Pendulum, and of course, Ritual, while the other dimensions outside the original, aka the main deck, represent the summoning mechanics that we found in the extra deck, which is not a trait of Ritual cards, meaning they don't get a dimension separate from the main deck dimension. These dimensions are also only limited to one type of extra deck mechanic, as I stated before, unless there is influence from other dimensions, such as with Dennis having access to Xyz monsters despite him originally belonging to the Fusion dimension. I feel this is the most accurate representation of the dimensions, and why a non-extra deck mechanic like Ritual doesn't have its own specific dimension. While it would be interesting if Ritual had a separate dimension, it doesn't fit the criteria that Xyz, Fusion, and Synchro have done, which is be a mechanic outside the main deck, not just being a summoning mechanic in general. And that's where I think people have their misconception about why isn't there a Ritual dimension. That is just my take on it. I do think it is a very, very accurate representation of the dimensions and why specifically they only have Xyz, Synchro, and Fusion, and not Ritual. And if you agree with me, definitely let me know in the comments. If you have your own representation or feelings about it, definitely let me know as well. Personally, like I said, I think this is a very accurate representation if you actually start thinking about it in that way. It's something that I thought was the case when watching Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5, but it was never stated that way. I also think they wanted to use dimensions that represent the older Yu-Gi-Oh! Series as well, with Standard being more of Yu-Gi-Oh! Dual monsters, and of course Fusion Dimension being GX, and of course Synchro Dimension being 5Ds, and of course Xyz being Zeal. So I think that also helped in a way, and Ritual never really had its own series, so they kind of just kept it into the Standard Dimension, which of course, if you think about the criteria of what constitutes a brand new dimension outside of Standard, then it makes sense that Ritual is actually not there. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Make sure to keep things nice and clean, be respectful if you can. It's a very easy thing to do, and feel free to let me know what you guys would like me to discuss maybe in a future video. I do have an idea in mind coming up for about Yugi's best friend, and I also have another one in mind, which is going to be a personal one, which is going to be my top 10 favorite duels in all of Yu-Gi-Oh! Series. It's going to encapsulate all 8 Yu-Gi-Oh! Series, and it's going to be my top 10 favorite duels from every single one of them. That one's going to be pretty rough to make because that one is personal to me, and it's going to be a very special video that I would like to make as well. But until next time, just keep a lookout, and peace out.